90% of creators are using NotebookLM wrong. You're asking it to summarize, to make outlines, to answer questions about your PDFs. That's exactly its weakest function. In the next 5 minutes, I'll show you what this tool is actually for. Here's my take. NotebookLM is not a research tool. It's your private screenwriter. In this video, you'll walk away with 3 things. First, a prompt that turns it from a summary machine into a topic factory. Second, a non-official way to use interactive mode, which Google just opened up in May 2026. And third, at the very end, I'll give you a prompt I've been keeping to myself. Use it, and what comes out won't sound like AI anymore. Quick credibility check before we dive in. Over the past 3 months, I've generated 27 video topics using NotebookLM. Not by asking it to write scripts, by using it to find angles I couldn't see on my own. That distinction is the whole point of this video. Let me explain why summarize this is the wrong question. When you ask NotebookLM to summarize a report, it gives you a summary that anyone reading the same report could write. But as a creator, you don't need a summary. You need an angle nobody else has found. The gap between you and your audience isn't how much you've read. It's whether you can see something in the material that others missed. That's what NotebookLM should actually do for you. Now let me show you how. I'm working on a video about AI hardware startups. I dropped 5 sources into a new notebook. 2 analyst reports, 3 competitor YouTube videos, 1 long-form article. Here's the move. Don't ask for a summary. Ask for conflict. My prompt looks like this. Quote, act like a deeply skeptical industry editor. Find 3 claims across these sources that directly contradict each other. Cite them. I don't want a list of opinions. I want the contradictions themselves. End quote. Look at what comes back. Conflict 1. Report A says this market grows 300% next year. Report B says 80% of players get wiped out in the same window. Conflict 2. Every founder says product is the moat. Every investor says distribution is. Each conflict is a video topic. And honestly, you could read those reports 3 times and miss this. Because when humans read, our brains smooth out contradictions. We pattern match toward harmony. AI doesn't. It just hands you the friction. That's NotebookLM's first real value to creators. It keeps the conflicts your brain filtered out. Now let's talk about Audio Overview, the feature that turns your sources into a podcast. Most people generate the podcast and stop there. Wrong move. The podcast isn't the output, it's the tool. I never publish the audio. I listen to it myself. On the commute, on a run, while doing dishes. I put on that 20-minute generated podcast, and something interesting happens. My brain starts pushing back. Hold on, these 2 hosts are wrong about this part. That data point has a different read. If I were making this, I'd argue the opposite. Those pushbacks are your script. AI gives you a position, you generate a counterposition. This loop produces ideas 10 times faster than staring at a blank document. Because creativity is reaction, not invention. NotebookLM gives you a wall. You bounce the ball. Now the new piece, interactive mode. Google opened it up in May 2026. The official pitch is, you can join the conversation, ask the hosts questions. Sounds standard. But here's the creator move. Play the podcast. When a host says something interesting, hit pause and join in. Ask, what if the opposite were true? Give me the most extreme counterexample from the sources. The AI host actually stops and pulls a counterexample from your uploaded material. Something that might be 1 sentence buried on page 40. You'd miss it reading the doc directly. But under pressure, the AI digs it up. That's what interactive mode is really for. You're not having a conversation. You're interrogating your sources. Quick, honest moment, because I'd rather you not get burned. 3 things to know. 1. It hallucinates. About 13% of the time. Always click the citation, jump to the source, and verify any number you plan to use on camera. 2. Audio Overview has an AI watermark, and honestly, it sounds like AI. Publishing it as is will end badly. It's an input to your work, not an output you ship. 3. Garbage in, garbage out. It only reads what you give it. 5 great sources beat 50 mediocre ones every time. Keep those in mind. You won't get burned. Now the prompt I've been keeping to myself. This is the core of my entire NotebookLM workflow. It makes Audio Overview sound like 2 real industry people arguing over drinks. Not 2 AI hosts being polite. Here it is. Take a screenshot. Quote, "You 2 are not AI hosts. You're 2 veterans who've spent 15 years in this industry, talking shop over drinks."
One leans optimistic, one leans skeptical. But neither is performing. Use natural speech, verbal pauses, phrases like, "Look, between you and me, I'll tell you what." Use specific names, places, and numbers. Don't give conclusions. Give scenes and stories. If the source material doesn't have a concrete story, you can extrapolate reasonably, but you must say, "This is my guess," when you do. End quote. The key is that last sentence. Make it flag the guesses. That one rule turns the hallucination problem into a creative asset. Because as a creator, what you want is the what-if extrapolation. You just need to know which parts are guesses so you can decide what to use. When I run this prompt, the resulting podcast is about 80% grounded in the sources, 20% reasonable extrapolation. And that 20%? That's where the best parts of my videos come from. Let me bring it home. NotebookLM is not a research tool. It's your private screenwriter. Its value isn't in what it tells you, it's in what it forces you to think. It gives you conflict. You give it perspective. It gives you a podcast. You give it pushback. It gives you extrapolation. You give it story. This loop is the workflow every serious creator should have in 2026. Not because AI is amazing, but because the brain power you save here can go entirely into thinking deeper than the next person. That's the whole game. If this was useful, hit subscribe. Next week, I'm breaking down Lovable, the tool that builds a real website from a single sentence. Same approach. I'll show you how most people are using it wrong. See you in the next one.